Hi guys, Ethereal Awakening here, doing an individual zodiac sign reading. This one is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your North Node. And at the beginning of each one of these videos, I've been speaking on triggers in case anybody wasn't aware of what those were exactly. Triggers are like when you find yourself, somebody says something or does something and it pisses you off. That's a trigger. That pisses you off. Really what that is you trying to get you to look at something about yourself that needs healed. Usually a lot of it comes from trauma when we were kids, or just, traumatic events. And what's traumatic to each of us is different. We're individuals that way. Craziness. But in a moment when somebody says something or does something that, pisses you off or creates maybe an exorbitant amount of emotion, what is it that is trying, what in you is trying to come up to be recognized? You are trying to recognize you in that moment and heal something. Because, people can say and do what they want, and how you allow it to affect your peace and serenity is what they mean when they say give away your power. You've given your power to that person to take away peace and serenity from you by whatever it is. But really what it is it's not that person doing it. It's something from your past that is causing this overwhelming emotion in you. So something in your past is wanting you to look at it and heal it. So that's a little on triggers. Again, this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your North Node. Your heart is your best guide. If something in the message resonates with you, and it's for you. If it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, spit it out. Spit it out. Move on. No big deal. Spirit, what messages do we have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in the sign of Virgo. What messages do we have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in the sign of Virgo. What messages do we have for Virgo? One more time. All right. Thank you in advance. Alrighty. Current energy, 10 of Cups, 9 of Swords, heart space, Queen of Cups, Judgment, and possible outcome, 8 of Pentacles, Page of Rods, and underlying energy, or what you might not be aware of, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So this underlying energy, let's just say the 4 Pentacles, 4 Cups. There's some, here, let me pull the page out here for a second. Because the page is, the way I saw it is the page is looking away from, page is looking one way, away from the 4 Pentacles and the 4 of Cups. So this is not seeing the forest for the trees, maybe being a little too drawn in on the details. When if you just step back and look at the big picture, not looking at the details of why he said, she said stuff, but maybe pulling back and looking at the whole, how did this make you feel? Not what was said and what was done and all that, but how did it make you feel? And then with the 4 of Pentacles, the 2 fours here, this is about something that is, well, the 4s. There's always that sense of structure and stability that comes with, that 4 number. It's something in your foundation. And with the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, it's like zeroing in on, I always get this like nitpicky kind of energy from it. And then with the 4 of Pentacles, it's this kind of, this is this miserly, this is the stingy kind of energy. So there's something here that this page is just, I'm over here, and it's just a page. You're not a knight. It's not a knight yet. It's not being able to offer yourself something based off of, being a little too, devil in the detail. You're trying to overwork something. You're trying to overanalyze something, overthinking it, when it's really just a big picture kind of thing. It's like stepping back and going, oh, really none of the he said, she said bullshit was relevant. What was relevant was the feelings that were involved in all of it. How did it make you feel? And taking a good look at those feelings. Because in the current energy, that was all underlying energy, we have 10 of Cups, but we've got 9 of Swords. So there's a block to what that complete emotional fulfillment would be. The relationship that makes you happy, the family that's all on the same page, the career that you completely can see yourself doing for the rest of your life because it doesn't even feel like you're working. All of those beautiful things that come from the 10 of Cups is completely blocked by some sort of thought processes that are the same thought processes that can also relieve you from that feeling of there's no other way about it. Because that's what this 9 of Swords is, that feeling like I'm completely stuck in this way of thinking. Well, no, it's a way of thinking. It's not really, not saying that it's easy. I do not use the word easy. This is easy. These are easy, simple things that are hard to do. Absolutely. Because you're having to take those same thought processes, the same mental restrictions, and use them, looking at them from a different perspective. That's not easy, because that's also usually taking into consideration sometimes when we were acting in less than. When we did and said and thought things that weren't in the most highest order for us. Weren't in that Christ consciousness that I am always preaching. If we can be that honest critic of our own thought processes, then in our heart space what we have here is the Queen of Cups and Judgment. So this is, to me, is definitely Christ consciousness. This is what God has in mind for you, is to be emotionally full, to have your cup overflowing, to have that emotional fulfillment, because this is what God wants. God wants us to be emotionally mature and fulfilled. And then we can really get to the hard work of figuring out what that is and our possible outcome. This is how to go about doing it. Because this page of Rods in your outcome with this 8 Pentacles, this is the hard work, but you don't even realize you're doing work. The Page of Rods doesn't, he's doing God's work, and he knows it, and he keeps at it. Because he realizes that, the other way of thinking has left me, left a block to that emotional fulfillment. And having all the 4s, because that was in our underlying, is that sense of stability that comes from feeling emotionally fulfilled, spiritually fulfilled, physically and mentally fulfilled. But when we have the 4 Pentacles with the 4 Cups here and the Page of Pentacles, it's not coming into fruition. So there's a block here, and it's just simply looking at these mental thought, these ways of thinking differently. What would Jesus do? That's the best way to look at it. What would Jesus do? And do that. Even when you're thinking and you think nobody thinks your thought or knows what your thoughts are. Those are the thoughts that, what would Jesus do in those, all by yourself? You can be more Christ-like without anybody else involved. So I hope this has helped, Virgo. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. See you next time.